It is a Thursday night in North Carolina. And for Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, and Charles Barkley, I have a trivia question.
I'm going to get it correct.
What is the second largest city in North Carolina?
Raleigh.
No.
Durham.
The second largest.
Chapel Hill.
Second largest.
No, the second largest is Durham.
Charlotte.
The first is Chapel Hill.
Charlotte is the largest city.
The largest.
Second largest. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not Greensboro, is it? Is it Greensboro?
No, it's not.
Greensboro is second.
Okay,
Charlotte is number one.
Greensboro is the largest city.
And that's where we are here on TNT, because it's All-Star Weekend just around the corner. The game will be played at Spectrum Center in Charlotte on Sunday here on TNT. And this city is buzzing. It is TNT NBA Tip-Off presented by Auto Trader. And just a short car ride from the middle of downtown, you find this cool place, the Music Factory. And we're at the Fillmore in Charlotte, North Carolina for an hour-long pregame show. Appreciate y'all being here.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hey, Ernie.
Hey, Kenny.
Can I tell you something? You're in
It ain't like San Antonio, Charles.
you're in Charlotte. Yeah.
This is Charlotte, Charles.
This is Charlotte, baby.
Hey, double that up. I triple that up. I triple amend that. But I'll tell you this. I'm going to show you how we do it. There's two real big universities down here.
Yeah.
There's one in Chapel Hill, and then there's one in Durham. But I'm going to show you how we do it in Chapel Hill. Because when I say tar, usually they say hill. So when I say tar, you say tar, tar. That's how we do it down here. That's how you win what states you are.
Hey!
Yeah, that's how it states you.
No, this is how we do it down here.
What's that?
Duke!
Boo! That's exactly. Exactly.
Yes, Shaq.
Can I show these knuckleheads how to do it?
Okay, show us how to do it.
Throw your hands in the air.
Hey!
And wave them like you just don't care. Let me hear you say yeah. Say yeah.
Okay.
That's how you do it, Charles.
That's how you do it.
I like that.
And that's how you do it on Valentine's Day 2019.
Ooh, look at that red
What
suit he
better
has.
way to spend Valentine's Day than right here doing TNT NBA
Hey,
Tip-Off?
Chuck.
Oh, look at this. Isn't this nice from the NBA on
It's a kissaholic.
TNT?
Hey, Chuck, remember Morgana?
Oh, yeah, I remember Morgana.
A wild one, yeah.
Hey.
I didn't know you were Cupid.
What's up, Cupid?
I knew the guy next to me was stupid, but I didn't know you were Cupid.
Hey, don't talk about Ernie like that.
This is a very special city for Charles Barkley, because when you recall the year 1991, the last time the All-Star Game was played in Charlotte, who was the MVP but the man at the end of the desk? What do you remember about that day, Chuck?
You know what? Just getting a lot of rebounds. Karl Malone can't guard me. You better get your hands up. Hands down, man down.
Okay. Hey, don't call Mark Jackson.
Well,
You got the MVP here. Do you still have that trophy somewhere?
of course I do.
I'm just saying,
I
you
only
know.
got like 3 trophies.
Charles, you got the MVP scoring 17 points. You should be ashamed of
And
yourself.
22 rebounds.
Yeah, had a
17
boatload of
points.
rebounds in that game.
Hey.
You also won the MVP with 17 points one year.
That's because Kobe.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's because Kobe got the other MVP.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
well, you didn't deserve it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? You know what's special about what also is special about this night is Shaq has brought some provisions
Really?
for us.
What
Yes,
are the provisions?
because you have this new restaurant right in Vegas.
Oh,
I
Big
got a
Chicken.
new restaurant called Big Chicken.
Big Chicken.
And my good friend Charles Barkley wanted me to name a sandwich after him. So here it is, Charles. It's called the Balls Chocolate, because I don't want to have to pay the royalties. So I
Barrels,
switched the letters around.
Barrels,
The Barrels
Chocolate. Let's see what
what's on
Barrels. Yeah.
What
that's
you
a good
wanted to be
question.
on it?
I'm just, what?
That looks like macaroni
Is that macaroni and
There's
cheese?
mac and cheese in there.
on a sandwich.
Well,
That's what you said you wanted, Charles.
Is that,
Wait,
is that
I
like
said-
some fried onions or those onion crisps?
Where's Matt at?
on there?
You know what I
Come on
call
here,
it? I call it
Oh,
the
that it's
Cartier
your
kit.
restaurant. What's on the bar?
Oh, he don't know?
Matt, tell him.
Yeah. What you got on there, Matt?
So we got our signature fried chicken, Naked Truth chicken breast, a mac and cheese, crispy onions, and a garlic barbecue aioli.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness,
And
that
this
sounds.
is what now?
It's called the Balls Chocolate.
Dude, I ain't gonna charge you royalties. You
Oh,
could have
you
named.
not?
No.
Okay, look in that camera and say, I'm not going to charge you.
Wait, my camera. I'm not gonna charge it. You call it the Charles Barkley, man.
Oh, I can call it the Charles Barkley.
Yes, you can.
It's on
Okay,
TV.
cool.
He said
Free
that.
of charge, and we both
Harry,
witnessed it.
Colin, you heard that. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to mess it up.
This is
Right,
no
appreciate
longer
it.
the Barrows Chocolate. Anybody here hungry, by the way? Would
6,000 calories.
This is
360
Are you kidding me?
of total fat.
Yes.
3,000 sodium.
6,000 calories.
No,
Eating
man.
one sandwich.
That's
Hey,
rough, right?
man.
those
If
numbers.
you
I
ever in
must.
Vegas, make sure to stop at Big Chicken.
Those
Anybody wanna
numbers
try
have
one?
been fabricated. As a
Anybody
matter
want
of
to try
fact.
one?
And it
Wanna eat, Ernie?
does not come with the
Anybody want it?
defibrillator. There you go.
There it is. There it is.
Yes, the.
Hey, that's awesome, Shaq.
Thank you. So I can call it the Charles Barkley.
Yes, you
Said it 3
can.
times. You could.
And guess what?
You could.
Would you like a sandwich?
And you have the right to call it the Jet Sandwich.
No,
Would you like
no.
a sandwich?
Yeah.
Kenny the Jet Sandwich.
Sure, you can call it anything you want.
Would you
Make
like
sure
to
it has
design
some.
your sandwich?
Well, I can't
Yes, I
make
would
sure
like
it
to
has that.
design mine.
Okay,
I would like
deal.
to have the vegan chicken inside.
Vegan chicken? Okay,
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah, I don't care whatever you.
All right, deal. Appreciate you
But
guys.
just let me know what it is.
Ernie, I got you. I'll
Okay.
never let you down, Ernie.
Good. We're gonna have sandwiches named
We're
after.
gonna have some fun tonight.
We are. We're going to have fun all weekend long, starting on Friday with the Mountain Dew Ice Rising Stars, followed by Inside. Then, of course, you've got All-Stars Saturday night, and the game itself at Spectrum Center on Sunday exclusively on TNT. And that's not all we've got going on. Watch Rising Stars Jaren Jackson Jr., Kyle Kuzma, Trey Young, and Karl Anthony Towns battle it out for bragging rights and charity. Check out the E-League NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 All-Star Throwdown, powered by Intel. And that was the short title. Friday night, 11:30 on
Oh,
TBS.
Look at those beautiful
oh
feet.
my goodness.
28,000 points, 17,000 rebounds, and 4 championships.
Hey, you rang?
Those feet look like a
There's something seriously wrong with that
Charles.
big digit, man.
Charles,
Oh,
if you
my.
kiss those feet, I'll give you $1 million to your favorite charity.
I'd rather be broke.
Come on, Charles. Let's
I'm
do it
not
for
kissing
charity.
your feet. Are you crazy?
Come on, Charles. Let's do it for charity.
No, brother.
And Shaq.
Oh,
The Jack
yeah,
and
Jack.
high marks on the Valentine's Day suit.
I like that spicy look, Shaq.
Happy Valentine's Day to all the beautiful ladies out there. Happy Valentine's Day.
London, Kayla, Momo, happy Valentine's Day.
Cheryl Ann. Happy Valentine's Day.
Mommy.
Has a rich history in the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, including the sport of drag racing. And like the Michael Jordan of drag racing is sitting on the set with us right now. His name is John Force, or John Brute Force, you can call him. Thank you so much for helping us out when we had our race. And again, it airs on Saturday, so we cannot give away any results at this point. But
You don't have to tell him I won.
in your humble opinion, John, do any of us have a future in your sport?
Well, first of all, I came for the media, the social media, and I couldn't even take a picture. I had to take a picture with Shaq here, and they had to cut off his head because I couldn't show who he was. And bottom line, NHRA sent us here. But yes, do you have a future? Without a doubt. You know why? Believe it or not, you're all athletes, but so are we in NHRA Mellow Yellow Drag Racing.
I'm glad you didn't say we had a future like in the pit, like changing tires or something.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
I'm just saying, like we weren't good enough to
Yeah, there's
drive
nothing
because
wrong
he
with it.
never,
You don't have to do it.
he never
But it's
saw us,
vital.
but he saw us
Vital.
drive. He
Yeah,
never
it
saw us
is.
do
But it's
that.
better when other people do it. I've never changed a flat tire in my life, and I'm glad of it.
Okay.
Then you're not going to be on a pit crew, that's for
So
sure.
question, you've seen all 4 of us drive. I don't want you to give away any details, but can you rate us as a driver? 1, 2, 4, who's 4, who's 3, who's 1?
Let me say, we're all athletes. I
Oh, you
saw
gotta rate us. Nope, you gotta rate
Dan
us.
Pastorini years ago,
Yeah.
football quarterback, Super Bowl. He drove a top fuel car. Nance from basketball drove pro stock. But I tell you, I was a little worried with you guys because I thought if we kill one of you, we're in big trouble. I mean, I've been on fire from here to Australia. They tried to kill me 100 times and they haven't. But You're up there.
Hey,
The
you know,
special
hey,
excellence.
Shaq, you notice they never told us that people caught on fire before we got in the cars.
Yeah, I know,
He telling
right?
us now.
Well, Mr. Forrest, when we were together, you said, Charles, you the best by far and away, but don't tell Shaq, Ernie.
But he didn't say best what.
That's because you had me by the Charles. You had me by the neck. But no. But
Oh, you went a little higher.
When you getting ready to say balls?
Yeah, let me bring this out about your career. 16-time funny car champion, 149 wins. But obviously, this is a sport that has its share of danger, and this is frightening right here because that's you on the right, John, and this
Oh my gosh.
is what happened just at the finish line. That was in Arizona, correct?
you know, they thought when they put me in the helicopter, they said he's dead. It's over. And I said, no, it ain't over till I say it's over. And I came back. I won 2 championships since there. But out there training you guys, you know, Antron Brown was there.
That was Chuck.
Yeah.
I'm glad you ain't show us that video before we got in the car. Yeah. I sure wouldn't have got in.
Women in our sport, Erica Anders, my daughter Brittany, all champions, Antron Brown, myself, we were teaching you. And that's what I want to say. I know I didn't comment on what you asked. I never do. But when you guys got in the car, I was shocked. I knew you were athletes. I mean, we had to put you in there, lay the seats back for Shaq and Barkley just to get you in there, and then to watch you stage and drive down that car over 100 and something miles an hour. I mean, shit, you guys were hot. And I was loving it.
And also, I think it was interesting when Shaq and Charles were trying to get out of the car. And this was an, hey, look, I've got the video. This was not the easiest thing in the world to do, was it, Shaq?
It wasn't that bad.
Well,
it don't look like it.
let's watch.
Yeah. Slide in, slide out.
Yeah.
Move.
Just a hand from Baron Davis.
Thanks, Baron.
Yeah. And if you
That's
think
what you get for getting them little cars.
if you think that was slow, watch
Right,
this.
Chuck?
Chuckster?
Chuck, you can.
Oh,
Chuck, time for you to get out.
okay, man. Hey, listen.
Candace is waiting to drive.
I didn't want to pull a hamstring or anything.
Yo,
so I
there
said-
was more, Chuck.
I had to be, man,
Doug,
my head was too big,
And you
man.
know, in America, that's not a helmet.
slide to the left. Slide to the
Man, that
right.
was awesome.
Yeah, but after you got in there, you guys were Showtime.
Yeah.
It was watching you stage, putting on the tree, cutting the lights.
Underdog, put that on a t-shirt.
The lady Parker, she was unbelievable. You all done a great job. I was proud of you.
Have you ever seen a helmet as ill-fitting as that one that Charles was attempting to wear?
We had to lay back the seats to get all of you in there. You're all so big. God bless you. But once you got in the game, seatbelts on, turned the radios and air conditioning off, you guys rock and rolled. I was impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John Force, thank you so much for your help that day and for
Yes.
coming out here as we begin our All-Star coverage here in Charlotte. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Again, check it out. The drag race Saturday at 5 o'clock on TNT. We're coming back with more from the Music Factory, the Fillmore, right after this. Follow the journey of 2019 All-Star captain Giannis Antetokounmpo from a youth in Athens, Greece, to his rise to the Greek freak in the NBA. Finding Giannis, presented by TCL, Saturday at 6:30 Eastern here on TNT.
It wasn't even a play. It was when we had dinner in Taiwan. And he looked at me, he's like, you know, like no one can stop me next year.
It was the beginning of my 3rd year. I had 27 in the first game.
What is your goal for your career?
I want to be an NBA player.
And I said, I can do this every night. When I came to the league, I wasn't a man.
He would sleep in the gym. He didn't want to go home. He was alone.
And he told me, you're going to get drafted and you're going to be in the NBA. Money.
he's as unguardable as they come. 7th in scoring, 6th in rebounds, 17th in assists. Those are his league ranks.
That's
and of course, he is one of the captains of the All-Star teams, along with LeBron James. And,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, wow is one way to describe it. And I'm wondering, Charles, when you go back to your career, was there a Giannis type of player? Because I don't think we've ever seen anybody like this guy.
No, we never seen anybody like this guy. And he's my front runner for MVP, him and Paul George and James Harden, but he's the front runner. I've never seen a guy with the dribbling ability, that length. I mean, you look at a guy like Kevin Durant, Dirk Nowitzki, who are great offensive players, but they don't put the ball on the floor. And and the problem these teams gonna have, Ernie, who do you put on him? You can't put a little guy on him. You can't put a big guy on him. It's just a nightmare matchup. But like I said, if you put a 6'6" guy on him, he's just gonna kill him. But if you put a 7-foot guy like he is, he can't stay in front of Giannis.
He's the true definition of hard work. You know, he said when he first came into the league, he wasn't a man. His body has definitely changed, and he's playing. I seen a guy do it like that in spurts. His name was Akeem Olajuwon. Could take you, face you off the dribble. He did it. I did it a few times. But because the game is different, coaches allow him to play guard. So he's not the first to do it, but he's the first to be allowed to play guard, and that's what makes him special when you got a guy 6'11" with, you know, the speed that he has coming down the court.
Does he remind you of your old teammate, the Dream?
Yeah, I think.
No.
I think more Shaq.
Well, Shaq just brought it.
I know. I would think in the half court, Shaq, the Dream was unguardable in that areas as well. But Shaq, when his early LSU, first 2-3 years in the league, if you would say take the ball off the rim and you handle it, I think you could have done that. I think Kevin
and you
Durant
did do that, so.
But I think Kevin Durant, ball handling ability, these guys at 7 feet have the same ball handling ability. I think the difference, obviously, is Kevin's going to stay more on the perimeter, where he's going to go into the paint much more. So they both are very similar. That's why no one guards either one of them, because at 7 feet, what ball handling does is it allows you to get to areas of the floor to be a good anything. So if I'm not a good three-point shooter, my ball handling can make me a good shooter by getting to the free throw line. If I'm not a good passer, I can get into the area to call by ball handling.
Cover such incredible space in with an economy of effort. It's unbelievable.
But that's the difference, Ernie. It's not about, when you talk about guys who are unguardable, it's just about who do you put on them. Like, you can't put a little guy on Dirk or Kevin or Giannis, because they're going to kill a big guy if you try to put him out on the floor. That's what makes certain guys unguardable.
You know who was like this, but he wasn't athletic at all? Danny Manning, when he was coming in at 6'11",
Yeah, he was, yep.
handle the ball, could do things, take it off the rim, but he just wasn't athletic. Like this guy's just a freak athletic.
Yes.
Yeah, 6:30 on Saturday as a part of our All-Star Saturday.
And we're going to beat Wake Forest
coverage
on Saturday, by the way.
TNT.
Oh, you bragging about beating Wake
That's
Forest?
enough. Please, enough North Carolina.
Come on, dude. You can't beat the smart
Where
kids.
are we?
Kenny,
With North Carolina stuff?
We're in the state
No,
of
what,
North
enough
Carolina.
North Carolina
Hey,
stuff. North Carolina.
Last time I checked, they were still a college program
No,
and
wait,
not an NBA.
enough?
So anyway,
Wow.
by the way, if you're just joining us, here we are at the Fillmore at the Music Factory in Charlotte, North Carolina. These fans watching our show, and then later tonight will be treated to the talents of Chris Tucker, who
Whoa, Chris Tucker got talent now?
he does great stand-up, and he's been in a million movies.
I'm just kidding,
I know
Ernie.
you
Get him,
are.
Chris, get him.
And
You're
here,
going to be the blunt of jokes.
no, just a sampling of Chris Tucker's work.
Oh, this can't be good.
I ain't got time to wait, man. I gotta pick up money over here. I gotta pick money up here, man. And I came to pick money right here. Break yourself, fool!
That's my band up there. I'm the star.
Ever touch a black man's radio, boy?
She's fine.
She is my friend with an F.
A capital F.
For friend.
Most people wanna borrow sugar. They even ketchup. You wanna borrow my car? Hell no!
You know who you messing with, man. I'm deep in the streets.
Can you can you do this?
No.
Exactly.
And you know this, man?
And as far as NBA fans go, there is well, I guess very few bigger NBA fans than Chris Tucker. Really loves the game, and we look forward to talking to Chris on Inside the NBA.
Ernie, let me tell you something. We were having we love movies on the TNT family, and we were having a conversation, and we're talking about our favorite movies. TK says The Godfather. I say Braveheart. Somebody else said Malcolm X. Steve Fiorello said The Fifth Element was his favorite movie of all time. What a damn fool.
That's a great movie. It's better than Braveheart.
Braveheart's one of the 5 greatest movies ever.
Braveheart's a boring movie. Cut it out.
Are you kidding me?
Old ass watching.
Freedom!
No, Friday's up there because and you know this, man.
No, the first Friday was amazing.
Boys in the Hood, Minister Society.
Yeah, I know. Boys in the Hood was a great movie. You better quit hating on Braveheart.
This debate could go on.
I'm going to go all Mel Gibson on you in here tonight, brother.
But if this debate did continue, then we wouldn't get to Shaqtin' a Fool, which we're doing in the pregame show today.
Really?
Because it's that good.
Is it that good?
Because it's that good.
We have a celebrity in the house, too. Kenny will tell you who it is later.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, this is the reason we said that was such a creepy moment in New Orleans when
that is the worst mascot in the history of civilization.
Comes at you with that smile and just kind of like,
oh, that's a smile,
and the bib and the whole bit.
The only thing worse than that is what's that thing in Philadelphia? The Grizzles? The Flyers mascot.
This was
Grizzles.
He looks like you a little bit, Chuck.
No, that looked like you. That was your baby doll when you were growing up. You were so damn big.
Hey, this date back in 1975, ABA we're going here. San Diego Conquistadors over the New York Nets in 4 overtimes, and there was Julius Erving with his career high. He had 63 in that game.
Kenny,
Julius, 25 for 46 from the field.
I didn't see that.
He got 46 shots up in that 4 overtime game. Obviously, also one of the great hot wire artists of all time.
I tell you what, I got the chance to see him Friday night when he retired Moses Malone number. It was always good to see a doctor in the house.
Yes, indeed.
And we think about Doc, we think about great dunkers, and we think about this year's AT&T Slam Dunk Field. Who are you taking at this point between Dennis Smith Jr., Miles Bridges of the Hornets, Amadou Diallo of OKC, and John Collins of Atlanta? Who you liking?
I'm going to go with Amadou Diallo.
Do you have any reason for that pick?
Because he has those boyoings. He can really jump. He's very creative.
Well, the first thing we're going to have to do is put name tags on them 4 guys.
You don't know? Come on, stop it. You know, I'm going to go with Diallo, too, because he's from Left Rock City, Queens, where I grew up.
Lord.
I'm going to go with
you moved from your alma mater now to your home.
I'm going to go with John Collins.
I got you. You're going with John Collins?
Yeah, even though I wouldn't know him if he walked in here. But
you know John Collins.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the hometown guy.
Hey, John Collins.
Because I think
John Collins could be sitting right here. I wouldn't know him.
When you have the home crowd behind you and they start making that racket, sometimes the judges say, well, I got to go high for Miles Bridges. That's where I'm going on Saturday night. Last guy to win in front of the home crowd, Blake Griffin in 2011. With the help of
Kazam. That's right. I gave him 3 dunks.
I am Kazam.
Somebody call security, please.
Hey, you look like a young Ernie Johnson.
That looked like Eric Johnson.
Go Ernie.
Look, I know better than to even get out there.
Come on, let's do it.
Ernie, when's the last time you actually danced?
Let's turn this mother out, Ernie.
Hey, when's the last time you actually got on the floor and danced?
Let's do it right now.
Probably at my daughter's wedding.
How long ago was that?
Let's go viral.
Hey, Ernie, what was
years
Ernie?
You haven't been dancing in 7 years,
Oh,
Ernest?
no, and I would never go dancing if I had the choice.
Let's do it right now, Ernie.
Come on, Ernie. What charity?
Come on, Ernie.
$5,000 to your charity.
Ernie, what was Lawrence Welk really like? I mean, you were back there on those days.
Yeah, I ran the bubble machine for him, as a matter of fact. Hey, D. Wade and Kevin Garnett sat down to discuss a wide range of topics, including what the 13-time All-Star sees coming up next in life. D. Wade and Kevin Garnett, Players Only, presented by Metro by T-Mobile, Saturday at 6 o'clock Eastern. Here's a clip.
If anybody know Cole, Cole respects you if you a dog and you gonna go at him.
You go back at him.
And that's when Cole started to respect me, when he realized, like, I'm not backing down. And it's not that attention, it's just who I am. I mean, me and Cole, we got into a little tussle in the All-Star game a little bit, and I ended up hitting him the wrong way and he broke his nose.
That was the first time I've ever seen that.
But I'm gonna tell you the thing. So after All-Star break, we got the Lakers about like 3 games after the break.
Yes. He got the mask on.
He got the mask on.
Yes.
So but you know what? I called him, you know, I'm not maliciously, didn't maliciously do it. I called him and I said, yo, Cole. He was like, bro, I love it. I'm like, you what? He's like, I love it. I seen it a couple days, I'm like, oh, this, oh, snap. And when he gave it to me too, boy.
Now, as part of Black History Month, we want to feature a conversation that Isaiah Thomas had with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Look, Kareem, the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, played in the most All-Star games of anybody with 19. But when Zeke and Kareem sat down, basketball hardly came up.
For a young African-American man during that period of time of the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, what was it like for you?
I was so lucky to have Bill Russell as a role model, you know, playing my sport. And he conducted himself, he wasn't like wild and, you know, out of control.
Yeah.
He's very dignified and spoke intelligently and to the point about the civil rights issues.
Yeah.
And, you know, that really helped me figure out my style.
I always admired your ability to always be stately. And my mom and my sisters, who were big fans of yours, and they were always telling me, like, you know, this is how you want to carry yourself through the NBA. I sat at some of the games, and it amazed me some of the names that you were being called from the stands. You know, and at that time, they were calling you the N-word. They were calling you the big whatever, right? How did that make you feel?
It made me feel like I had to deal with it just like John Lewis dealt with it. He talked about going across that bridge. And I remember watching that close to tears because I knew that they were going to get slammed, but they were doing that for all of us. It's funny, you mentioned your mom, and my mom will always be like Jackie Robinson, you know, see how he's intelligent and he speaks well, and I got it, you know?
Yeah. You go to UCLA, you meet John Wooden from Martinsville, Indiana. The Klan right there in Indiana. John Wooden is your coach from Martinsville. How did you view him at first?
Well, I didn't know what to think about Coach Wooden at first because he was so quaint, and he looked like he was still from 1910. He was born in 1910, he still looked like it. You know, he had a part up the middle of his head and everything. But he's so knowledgeable about the game and so open and really someone who lived his Christian faith. He was into poetry and stuff, you know, he's an English teacher. One of his favorite poets, Langston Hughes.
Yeah. Wow.
The Harlem Renaissance.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, you know, and the time that he refused to take his team to a tournament unless they let him bring an integrated team. That was in the 1940s when he was coaching at Indiana State.
Yeah.
He could have really impressed me with that. He never told me about that. I found that out on my own from other people that knew him. They told me about that.
Yeah.
Incredible. He had that kind of openness about him.
Your social consciousness, your social awareness, where did that come from?
Growing up in Harlem. And I was mentored in a program between my junior and senior year where they taught us about community and they taught us about how special the Harlem community was, especially for Black Americans. And then understanding that Black Americans had so much to give America. And, you know, just trying to figure all of that, it made me very proud and made me want to add to that.
Kareem doesn't communicate well. How did that make you feel when people wrote that or said that about you?
They took that attitude because I didn't know my place, Isaiah. I wasn't going to just shut up and dribble. The fact that I didn't want to say it the way they thought it should be said made for a problem between me and them. And I didn't shy away from debating them on that.
It's almost like you were taught and groomed to be Kareem.
As Black Americans, this is how we have to learn how to live successfully.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
Yeah. Did you ever break down?
No, I just, the way I dealt with it was if I had a successful life, then I'm one.
Right hand, 12-footer,
Shaq, what was it like when you became a Laker and were following in the footsteps of Kareem?
It was kind of scary, but Jerry West put his hands on my shoulder and he said, I believe you can be just as great as these guys. If I had one wish, I wish I could have had a better relationship with Kareem, because Kareem is very soft-spoken. He never spoke to me, I never spoke to him. We have a good relationship now. There was sort of a misunderstanding. He thought I didn't like him, I thought he didn't like me. So while I played the Lakers, we never said a word to each other, never spoke.
That amazes me.
It is, but we have a good relationship now. I think I met him at Final Four a couple years ago, and I asked him, how come you never talked to me? He said, how come you never talked to me?
And that's what I'm saying to you. Why? How could there not be any communication between two legendary big guys in this game?
I never talked to him. I never talked to Wilt. The only big guy, great big guy that I had a great relationship with is, we all have a relationship with him, is Mr. Russell. But, Kareem is his legend. I, tried to be as good as him. I wanted to be up in the Raptors like him. And we now have a good relationship, and, we're talking now.
Wow. I mean, I that's interesting, and unfortunate, because I think what both of you give to the game would have been so magnificent. But the other thing, being from New York City and always looking up to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was the measuring stick of what a basketball player should be coming from our area. Everyone talked about him. Everyone had an affinity towards him. But his verbal intelligence to relay what he was thinking, so everyone from scientists to basketball players to a 3-year-old could understand it, was the most uncanny thing that I looked up to. His ability to let people understand what he was thinking. And that's not difficult. That's very difficult to do. That's not an easy job. And so that, to me, is something that I always admired about him.
Well, I always admire him because all those guys, Bill Russell, Jim Brown, John Carlos, Tommy Lewis, Mr. Lewis.
Tommy Smith.
Tommy Smith, excuse me, and John Lewis. Those guys are heroes. They did all the heavy lifting so we could all be successful. And I'll always admire them, respect them, and it's a great responsibility to be in the limelight when you're black, because there's a double standard. There's always been a double standard, and unfortunately always will be. But he talked about Jackie Robinson himself and Mr. Russell. You have to carry yourself. You can't ever get down in the mud and yell and scream and deal with all the BS. And Kareem is always, even though he told me one time, I'm reading.
No, I was going to say, please, I was going to ask you, because you've told us the story before, but please.
I got to tell you, it was like, I think it was my first All-Star game, and Kareem was in, like, all the stars together, and like, they're going to introduce us, and Kareem's in the corner reading, and we hadn't played the Lakers yet. So I'd never met Kareem, and I couldn't wait to meet him. And Kevin McHale played a trick on me. He said, go over and say hello to Kareem. I said, Kevin, I want to go say hello to Kareem. He said, oh, yeah, he's over there in the corner reading. Go say hello. And I'm nervous. I walk, I say, hey, Mr. Jabbar, can I talk to you for a second? He looks up. I'm reading. I put my head down and walk away. I get back over there.
So thanks,
Kareem, Larry Bird and Kevin McHale are dying laughing. Y'all set me up, man. But you know what? I got to know him a little bit over the years. He's a nice man. He just wanted to read that night.
And you know what? Long before I shared this desk with you, back in the mid-'90s, Kareem was a guest on our show.
Really?
For 2 nights during the playoffs. That's back when I was doing the show by myself. And boss Don McGuire says, hey, your guest the next 2 nights is going to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he came
wow.
and it was us.
You used to do the show by yourself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, back then it wasn't as good a show as you might guess. Oh, come on. What? I know. You know what? They've just done this because it's given Alex time to put my head on his body. I guarantee it.
Go Ernie! Go Ernie! Go Ernie! Go Ernie! Go Ernie!
Alex, you are so good, predictable. Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
Russell Westbrook and the Thunder taking on the Pelicans in New Orleans tonight. Just one game tonight on TNT as we head into the All-Star break. And Russell Westbrook and Paul George have been quite the 1-2 punch as we look at the Auto Trader Accelerate Your Game. 10 straight triple-doubles for Russ. Paul George, has thrown himself toward the top of the MVP conversation.
Yep.
Number 2 in the league and scoring 29 a night, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and they each had triple-doubles with 20 points the other night. So that is Accelerate Your Game presented by Auto Trader. Oklahoma City also going to be adding, it appears, Markieff Morris, who was dealt by Washington to New Orleans and then let go by the Pelicans. And it looks like he will be picked up by OKC, Chuckster.
Listen, let me tell you something. OKC, that's a great addition. I love what the Trailblazers did with Rodney Hood and Enes Kanter. Yeah, the West just got very interesting. This is a great pickup.
Yes.
This is a great pickup.
I mean, let me tell you something. And he brings some toughness. The Mars boys, you don't mess with them.
His ability to stretch the floor, defend multiple positions in Oklahoma, that will just expand that role. It will help Russell Westbrook. It will help Paul George as well. That's a great thing.
But the main thing, he gonna bring a toughness. You know,
I think those guys have been tough, but that is
he brings a different element. Like, you have to have guys on your team. Like, you had Otis Thorpe one year. You had Chucky Brown, Vernon Maxwell, Vernon Maxwell, one of them guys. He said something about your mama, you have to make him repeat it.
Well, guys who play with an edge. So Markieff Morris plays with an edge. So does Russ. So does Steven Adams.
That's a great pickup.
I like the pickup because he doesn't mind doing the dirty work. He's not going to be crying about shots. He's going to rebound.
And he spreads the floor. He shoots a three. He doesn't need to be in there.
He's going to start fights. Exactly the type of guy you want.
Meantime, in the Decelerate Your Game, we present the New Orleans Pelicans. And to match last year's record, all the Pelicans have to do is go 23-1 the rest of the way.
I'm going to go with the under.
This is a team that's 25-33. AD has played 3 games, and he scored 32, then 14,
3 points,
then 3 in his last game, going 1 for 9 from the floor.
You could do that right now, Chuck.
And he was talking about the fact that it looks like nobody cared. That looks the way this team is playing now.
Well, listen, Arnie, I told you this 2 weeks ago when the trade didn't go down. This is embarrassment for the NBA. It's a black eye for the NBA. When you got, first of all, I told you, I think Anthony Davis is probably the second best player in the NBA. But when you got a guy, number one, who don't want to play, you got a team that doesn't want to win, you got a bad mix. I love AD, but he's worried about getting hurt. So he's going out just going through the motions. The Pelicans are trying to lose. This is a black eye for the NBA and an embarrassment.
I agree with everything you said, Chuck. They're definitely trying to lose. And, the morale of the team is down. The guy came out publicly and said he doesn't want to be there.
But he's got to play, right? He's got to play.
Yeah, but he's got to worry about Ernie.
I know.
He got to worry about getting hurt, too. And Ernie, when you try to and Kenneth says it all the time.
If you try to play to not get hurt, that's when
you go, hey, listen, Ernie, I'm just talking right now. I can get 3 points in the NBA game right now. I guarantee you.
Me too.
Thank you, Shaq.
I get 2. But no, I can get 3 because I'll shoot 1 shot from them. But the one thing,
and you'd hit a 3.
Right. The one thing that is unfortunate is, and most people don't realize, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. When you dim the light at the end of the tunnel for an NBA player, regardless of what they're making, regardless of who they are, and you don't see any hope of making a playoff or doing anything, the light goes out.
You shut it down.
And they shut it down.
1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Because it's such a mental drain to play at that level that you have to have a light at the end of the tunnel.
Anthony Davis still
It's
ranks.
unfortunate.
And there's light at the end of the tunnel,
It's
but it's a train.
He still ranks very high in the NBA rankings.
Go
but
Ernie. Go Ernie. Got some
he
nice
has
moves.
struggled in the last 3, and I mean, I saw that coming down Tryon Street.
Now that's more Ernie right there.
Throw it down.
There you go, Ernie.
I would say that
You go, Ernie.
that is a much more accurate depiction than the first dude. I'm telling you that right now.